Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I was in my office this morning, and right on cue, the 12-year-old is standing here asking me when I'm getting him Chick-fil-A. I asked him if he was old enough now if we could break our deal about getting him breakfast on Fridays, and he says it's a deal that's permanent even when he goes off to college. Ugh. The spoiled rotten youngest. Okay, the market is still in pullback mode. We're at $2.66 trillion. I did make an XRP purchase this morning. I've been buying all week in these dips. Just poured my greedy cup of coffee and bought more XRP. We're now on coffee number 2. Dark Defender knows what's going on. Newbies in panic, and we are happy. Just think about the real waves. We must have the tide before a big wave. It is the same in finance. Third wave is closer than you can ever imagine. And then the black swan capitalists, most successful investors are contrarians because they see what others miss. Don't follow the herd, exploit it. That's what Wall Street's doing right now, folks. The pullback is setting the stage for a mega bull run alt season. I believe that the stage is being set for, I don't even think you would even call it a bull run this time. I think that this time, it's like I did in a write-up yesterday, we are about to have our Telecommunications Act, whatever that legislation was called in the internet, we're about to have that moment with stable coins, and they keep saying within 90 days we get stable coin legislation. So, and I think we're a good many days into that, 15 or so anyway. When that happens, this whole industry becomes legitimized, and then you're going to see all the capital start pouring in, and the market is impatient, and probably there's a lot of manipulation going on right now. But you Wall Street guys, you just manipulate on ahead, because the digital asset investor is here to scoop it all up. Keep on doing it. I dare you. Canary Capital CEO Steve McClurg, he's the one that applied for an XRP ETF. He is going to be at XRP Las Vegas. Go to xrplasvegas.com to get your tickets. He said he's been at ETH Denver. Shared his thoughts on ETH Denver, saying ETH devs are long gone, Solana's community is disenfranchised, and that everyone is talking about HBAR and XRP. Well, wasn't that always what was going to happen? Because what are you talking about here? Utility tokens. ETH, that was a VC pump gang token, and then they switched to Solana after we uncovered ETHgate, and now they're pivoting to SWI. Is that what you call it? Here's David Schwartz at ETH Denver.
What use cases do you and markets do you envision increased programmability will unlock for XRPL?
I think there's a lot of enterprise use cases where it's just almost a one-size-fits-all, but it's not quite. So a good example would be a tokenized real-world asset. Let's say you're tokenizing treasuries or equities or something like that, or real estate. Basically what you're doing is the same thing everybody else is doing. You're issuing tokens, you're redeeming tokens, people are buying them, they're using them as collateral. It's all the same functionality that everybody else needs, and the XRP ledger will support that type of functionality. But you might have some weird compliance rule at the margin, or some weird identity checks you have to do, or maybe there's something unusual about the way you do votes. Maybe they come with voting shares, or when you distribute dividends, there's something complicated about the way you need to do that. I think in the short term, the programmability on the XRP ledger will solve those almost fit use cases.
All right, and then we've got this from David Sachs, the crypto czar. The SEC has released guidance that meme coins are not securities and are akin to collectibles. Now, here's what I'd tell everybody out there. The SEC was pretty darn specific on this, and what this means, basically, the way I read it, and I'm no attorney, so I'm just telling you what I got out of it, was basically a meme coin is something where you just issue it into the market, and then it either takes off or it doesn't. That does not mean that if you're doing a fraud or something that you can't be busted. I think people need to tread very lightly. Stuart Alderati lays it out here. The beauty of the SEC's statement on meme coins is its simplicity. The question for the SEC, whether something falls under its jurisdiction, not whether it's legal or illegal. If fraud occurs, other agencies can act. So it doesn't mean that meme coins are not regulated at all. It means other agencies can act if there's fraud. The guidance sticks to law and precedent, avoiding vague concepts like decentralization. Meme coins aren't securities because they don't confer rights to income, profits, or assets. So if you confer rights of some sort, then it could become an investment contract. So, and then he says their value comes from market sentiment, not managerial efforts. And without investment in a common enterprise, there's no investment contract. This doesn't have to be complicated. But I would tell anyone, I don't care what kind of coin you're issuing, if you're going to issue a coin, you better go see a good securities attorney, because all it takes is one move in the way you issue it, and all of a sudden you can call it a meme coin all day long, but they won't consider it that, and they can still come after you. So be careful out there, kids. Unbelievable we have to go after Joseph Lubin. SEC has dropped the case against Consensus. Again, Jeremy Hogan keeps saying, look, the Ripple case is more complicated. There was an actual judgment. But folks, strap it or lock in, because at some point, all of a sudden, it's going to be gone, the Ripple case. And when that happens, damn the torpedoes. It is on like Donkey Kong. And then you're going to see these dominoes of ETFs going live. It's, for me, I can't tell you what to do because I'm not a financial advisor, but for me, right now is the greatest buying opportunity during this pullback that we've probably ever had in XRP, because this is the first time that you've had all of these. This is the first time you've had real regulatory clarity that is literally imminent for XRP. And we've had regulatory clarity from the judgment, but you've still got that cloud of that lawsuit. And so you don't have real clear skies until that lawsuit is dropped. And when it's dropped, it is game freaking on. This week, the SEC dropped cases against Robinhood, Uniswap, Gemini, Consensus. Now, I don't normally agree with Jim Cramer, but I agree with him today. He said that you should stay away from MicroStrategy, and I said I don't normally agree with anything he says, but anyone using leverage to buy Bitcoin or any other crypto is asking for it. Here's the problem. Outside of crypto, folks, I know how these, after doing this channel for over 7 years, I know how these Wall Street manipulating pieces of garbage behave. And the way they behave is they a lot of times pick a target. There's no easier target than MicroStrategy. Leveraging, that's what I keep saying, using leverage, a publicly traded company using leverage to buy an asset, even though Bitcoin and crypto has gone up a lot over the last decade, there are pullbacks that get crazy. And using leverage to buy a risky asset like that is insane. And I've been saying it for a long time. Exactly 1 month ago, they put this guy on the cover of Forbes. And you may remember I said, whoop, that's a red flag. When something like this happens, that's when these Wall Street, whatever you want to call it, Wall Street hitmen, they see a target. And that's how the investing game works, folks, especially now that you've got all the ETFs. They can go in and freaking try to gut this guy. And now Michael Saylor's telling everyone to sell your kidney if you must, but keep the Bitcoin. I mean, if people don't see all the red flags here, I don't know what to tell you. Here's the Robinhood CEO talking about crypto.
For global financial ecosystem, our 10-year arc, there's actually a lot that we're going to get done this year. So maybe I'll go a little bit deeper here. So one, more selection of crypto tokens. So in the existing app, the Robinhood main app, We're going to keep adding, and we're going to continue to accelerate. In fact, we've added 7 new assets since the election, and as we continue to get more and more regulatory clarity, you should expect to see that continue and accelerate. We're also investing in the Robinhood wallet, which is a separate app, and it's our non-custodial crypto wallet. And that's the gateway to thousands of additional coins for our customers. We've seen a lot of good signs, increased engagement, increased usage, and we're gonna keep making it better and better. And then we have Bitstamp. So as we integrate Bitstamp,
Bitstamp, Ripple used to be an investor in Bitstamp. I don't know if they are now.
Both allows us access to the exchange market, which is an institutional market. And we really see an opportunity there to drive the same sort of Robinhood effect that we've brought to retail to the institutional space with crypto. It also allows us to tap into Bitstamp's global reach, where they're live in 50 plus countries. And so you should expect that to continue to accelerate this year. But what I'm perhaps most excited about is tokenization. So I think Robinhood is uniquely positioned at the intersection of traditional finance and DeFi. We're one of the few players that has scale both in traditional financial assets and cryptocurrencies. And what that means for us is bringing real assets onto crypto technology, and giving people access to real world productive assets using crypto rails where they benefit from the liquidity and the other advantages of that technology. And what that means is equities, private investments, and more should be brought onto crypto technology to really unleash the true power of the crypto revolution.
There you go. Okay, in DAIXRP.com, which is where my Patreon private group is, you can also join. You can also join by clicking below this video on the join button on YouTube, and you can join the same private group either way. It just gives you an option. In there today, we're gonna go over some more XRP stuff, but we're also going to talk about the developments with the island guy. I got some very interesting stuff, probably that you've never seen before. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. Away we go.